Hey YouTube, how you doing? Kevin here on the MX80. Wife's at work, bike's in the kitchen. Yeah, that's how I roll. Okay, anyway, just want to do a couple of checks on this bike. See, we just got this thing today. There'll be a video on it from the first part when I first pulled off the trailer. What I've got. What I'm working on here is MX 80. It's hard to say because I don't normally work on the MXs. I saw this on Craigslist, so I'm like, I gotta get it. So it's a pretty cool little bike. Take the tank off. I did a pretty good job with coating the inside of it. No fuel in it. That's always a plus. Removes it off the frame. Get that out of there. Take a peek. Take a gander at what we're looking at. Since I don't know anything about this particular bike, as I know about the bike, but I have never heard this one run. I've never seen it run. So it's basically a virgin, if you will, to this. So I'm just gonna check a couple things. It's got no compression, so I know that there's most likely a hole in the piston, but I want to see if I can pull up the spark plug. I did want to see if it did at least get a spark. That'll be part of the one thing I won't have to deal with later on, you know what I mean? Let's give it ignition. Let's take a look and see what this spark plug looks like. Oh, it's just oily sooty. Huh. Okay, fair enough. The ignition switch is up top here. Up is off, down is on, right? Yep, down is on the run position. So I'm going to put this on the plug. Like that. Kick it over here and see if we get a spark at all. Nope. Okay. Doesn't even sound like there's a piston in there. Well, we're gonna find out if the piston is actually missing from this. See if I can find this socket that'll fit it. I think it might be a 12. Might even have the piston right out of it. Who knows, right? This actually looks like it might be a 10 millimeter. I'll put you on hold for a second, see if we can find a 10 millimeter. Okay, I'm back. Got the 10 millimeter. I already cracked them loose real quick. I think it's been taken out, the piston. I'm pretty sure it has. Well, let's take a look and see what we're actually looking at. If we can find anything decent in this motor. Be nice if sorry about the lighting. Gotta come up with something better for that for the next video. But right now, we're just trying to pull this head off. On these two-stroke dirt bikes, there's typically 4 head bolts on these 50 to 100 cc's. Some 125s have that too. After that, they normally go with a 5-bolt star pattern head bolt. Typically, I don't really do too much with the 125s. I like the small CCs. Yeah, just something fun to mess with. I don't like anything that's, over dramatic, like kids' bikes. Okay. Oh yeah, this head came right loose. So let's take a look. The head looks great. Yeah, no piston. Just what I thought. Alright, that's actually good. He said the piston had burnt up. He said it had little to no compression. So I'm gonna pause it real quick, get a flash. Alright, so I got a flashlight here. Let's take a look down there. I took a look at it while I was on the thing. This cylinder is clean. The cylinder is good. He took out the piston. And they get all kinds of oil down in the bottom there. So it looks like if I put a piston in a head gasket, which is also missing on this thing, I mean that cylinder head is clean. Just clearly it wasn't burnt up. I think the engine was seized up, to be honest with you. And okay, so I just checked out the cylinder. The cylinder has no scoring in it. The crank seems to be in excellent condition. What do you call it there, stroke wise and all that. So basically this was a pretty good find. Someone started working on it, and it probably had a seized piston ring, but the cylinder was in absolutely excellent condition. The carburetor seems to be in okay condition. So I think what I'm going to do with this bike is order the piston for it. Well, I'm going to measure the cylinder first and make sure it hasn't been bored to an oversize. And that will be the first step, to check it, make sure it hasn't been bored. Because some people like to put big jug kits. This looks factory. It doesn't look like it's been touched. The cylinder is clean, but it is also glazed a little bit. So I'm going to drain it of its oil that's in the crankcase. The crankshaft, from what I could see from the top end, looked nice. It didn't have no rattle on the rod when I shook it. So I think this bike is going to be a good little runner. So it's going to need, to get it at least started, it's going to need a piston, ring, wrist pin clips, head gasket, and air filter. So I think that's what I'm going to start with. Oil injection system needs to be checked out, but I think this is going to be a good little bike. It looks fun. I mean, tires are in nice shape. I mean, they got some dry rot, but the bike, he said, has been sitting in his basement for a long period of time. So I think we have a runner here. So I'm looking forward to it. See what the hell's going on. So something happened with the piston. Don't know what, but at least we know what's missing. So we'll go there and try to find out what year this thing is, and go from there. It's a pretty cool little bike. It's in excellent shape. I love that classic styling on the exhaust with the classic tube style, rear swing arm and shocks. And this thing is badass. For an 80cc, this is pretty cool. Those little shocks and knobbies. I got the KD80. This is pretty cool. You can do all this shit right on the bike without even tearing it all apart. Don't have to pull the motor up. Plenty of room. Easy to work on. Real simple. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to hit eBay real quick and order that stuff up and see if I can find it first. Measure the cylinder. Make sure it's an actual 80cc. So using that right there, I'll use I have a digital micrometer. I will use that to check the cylinder and measure it out. Make sure it's not a 20 over. Sometimes what they'll do is, on an older bike like this one, it's it might have high mileage on. I don't know what this thing has for mileage. This one's pretty clean, but people do take care of things. This motor could have burnt up before, and they sent that out to a machine shop to have it bored out. This is a cylinder right here. Let me just explain to you guys. Some of you don't know, but might want to be watching my video. So that hole right there, they call that a cylinder. Some people call it a jug. See the connecting rod poking through right there. It's missing some, missing the clips and stuff like that. They look like they tore it apart. So it's going to need gaskets, and when I get out, I'll inspect it. But it looks like it's in pretty decent shape. So I got part numbers. So the guy gave me some paperwork with the bike, and he said what they assessed it at. So I'm gonna go through and check that paperwork, see if I can what I can come up with. It's all right here. And I like it when I always ask him for if there's any information on it. Okay, yeah, it looks like they need a piston, cylinder head gasket, bearing cylinder number 10. That must be the bearing for the wrist pin. Let's see, clips, inner, piston pin, exhaust pipe, gasket, joint air cleaner, and piston ring set. Oh, standard right there, STD. Okay, so when you had this checked out, this was a factory. They must have did that. Cool. Oh, it's saying it's a 1982. Oh, there's the year of it. Cool. Tear down, estimate low compression. Alright, looks like they have it for $117. That's not bad. Well, we're on a mission. We're going to try to beat that price. All this was done back in 13. Well, it says it's been sitting for a few years, so pretty accurate. And, let's see. To do it all up. Press authorization. Yeah, this is cool. Alright, so at least we have part numbers, so we know what we're looking at. We know what year it is. It's 1982 MX80 Yamaha. And we now have a diagnosis from another second source. So, looks like I was right. Low compression. Beautiful. Thing of beauty right there. So, our piston's been removed. We're going to order that piston up, the gasket, and get that stuff coming and get this bike back on the road. Wow. That's not bad. Got it for a great price. Great price. They rolled it up. The cylinder was in excellent condition. So I am not complaining. I like the little, what do we get for a Thor? Probably came off a pedal bike. Yeah, that's it. Seat's in excellent condition. I'm gonna go on eBay and see what I can find for stuff for this bike. eBay, Amazon, Craigslist. I hit all the locals first, and then after that I just like, hey, what's going on? Get some stuff, you know. So cool beans. Brakes work. Shifter needs to be readjusted, but she's gonna be a runner. A real good runner. Ultrasonic clean the carburetor. Now that we have this bike right here that needs an ultrasonic cleaning, it's been sitting for so long, we'll do the carburetor cleaning video on this one. I was looking for a donor. Now we got one. Cool. Well, thank you. Please subscribe if you have any questions or problems with your bike. Maybe I can help you work them out. So, might be able to do a video. I like to do videos on bikes. And if you have a problem, I might be able to reenact your problem and help you diagnose it through one of my bikes. Anyway, my name's Kevin. Please subscribe.